So the big thing that's making the waves right now is Pax Dei, which is this upcoming social cloud-based MMORPG from this company called Mainframe. And I actually had recorded a whole video about this, about how there's just not enough information about the game yet for me to really be excited about what they're building. Because for me, I'm very jaded with MMORPGs, especially when it's something that's only been in development for a couple of years. Um, and especially when they haven't released any information about the game yet other than some buzzwords. If you go read through the text on the website, it is a lot of buzzworthy commentary about, you know, social game, shared space, build your own adventure, play with friends. It's all the same buzzwords we see around every single MMORPG that's ever been developed ever. And I don't trigger off of those. That kind of stuff doesn't do anything for me. I need to know what are the mechanics of the game. Is it PvE? Is it PvP? And you can read through their website, and there's some information here. They talk about how it's a um, social sandbox MMO. That's a buzzword. Legends, inspired by legends of the medieval era. That's kind of cool. Immerse yourself along with thousands of other players. Interesting. It says you can have a plot of land where you can build your home. They talk about how your village is a safe harbor where your clan can grow and prosper. Everything needs to be created by other players. Everything is created by other players. They talk about in a fully player-driven economy, all styles connect. And then they also talk about in here like where did that dun, dun, dun. Everything in here protected by the grace of the divine. Your village is a safe harbor where your clan can grow and grow and prosper. And they talk about how there's a moment in here, and I forget where it's at, but they actually say that there's going to be PvP. Yeah, here he is. Square off against rival clans as you struggle for power, position, and resources. So we're seeing a lot of buzzword stuff here: PvP, plot of land, build your home, play with others, define your playstyle, and everything else. And initially, my gut reaction was, nah, another game, and I wasn't too impressed. But then I went over to their actual website of who they are, the Mainframe company, and this is where I think I have. At least, even if I might not personally be interested in this game because it's going to be PvP, there's not enough information about it yet for me to know whether or not I think it's going to be something I'm interested in. But my interest level has gone up a notch when I see this kind of stuff. And this is what I wish. This is the difference between true indie and a company who actually knows what they're doing indie. So in March, well, before we can get to the timeline here, what's the story of Mainframe? So it's founded by veteran developers from Iceland and Finland, and they assembled a team that came from all corners of the industry with places like CCP, Remedy, Next Games, Rovio, Ubisoft, and with the recent opening of their office in France, Blizzard Entertainment. And they are focused on creating a persistent social world that reflects the best strands of our collective DNA as game developers, forging a fresh take on a storied genre with a game that our players will call home, whether they choose to access our world from their PC, console, or phone. We aim to be one of the first studios to create an experience made for the new medium that is cloud gaming. Okay. So they basically want anybody to be able to play this game regardless of what device they're logging in from. It's a cloud-based game. So it won't matter if you're logging in from your phone, from your tablet, from your console, from your PC, you'll be able to play this game is their objective. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why they were able to pitch what they pitched, because no one has really done that yet. So we got a whole bunch of VentureBeat and Silicon Valley articles, but more importantly, let's just look at this timeline. March of 2019, they were founded by 13 people, opened their main studio in Helsinki. They immediately set about getting a €2 million seed round funded from Mackie.vc, Play Ventures, Sisu Game Ventures, and Crowberry Capital. They then made their public reveal as a company, and they opened a studio in Reykjavík. I always forget how to pronounce it. Then in February of 2020, they landed another 7.6 million in Series A funding with new backers including Andreessen Horowitz and Riot Games. They then opened a studio in Paris in August of 2021, so they now have 3 studios working on this. And in November of 2021, landed an additional 20 million euro in Series B funding with new backers including Twitch and King co-founders. So in total, up to the end of 2021, they had raised 30 million euro in funding and then spent all of 2022 fleshing out the game and building what they have showing here in the trailer and everything else. And then they did the reveal in 2023. Pax Day, a player-driven social sandbox MMO. Now, all of this information right here is way more interesting to me than what the game is, because a lot of players are going to look at that gameplay trailer and they're going to go, "Oh my god!" Because if you haven't watched the gameplay trailer, actually, let's just let's I'm going to mute it. Well, we can have the volume on low while we're talking about it. So the gameplay trailer looks absolutely breathtaking. If you haven't watched this yet, it does look very good. It's being developed in Unreal 5, but like many gameplay trailers that focus on just a cinematic trailer, they don't tell us anything about the game. All this is a pretty gameplay trailer, and it is a beautiful gameplay trailer. And if it doesn't actually say if this is all in-game footage or not, but it does match up with the screenshots that they've shown on their website. So I'd say it's safe to bet that we can assume that this is at the very least in-engine footage, even if it's not necessarily in-game footage. But it does look very good, but it doesn't tell us anything. All it does is show us some adventurers wandering through the wilderness and eventually making their way to a settlement, which is cool. That's visually it looks great, but it's kind of like the Star Wars: The Old Republic gameplay trailers that they would show back in the day. You know, incredible not gameplay trailers, but the cinematic trailers that they did that back in the day with Star Wars: The Old Republic. Those were amazing, but they didn't actually show what the game looked like when it was being played, nor did it have anything to tell us about the gameplay mechanics or anything else. So this trailer looks great, and the thing with this is a lot of people are watching this trailer and have, you know, on the internet, I'm watching people going, "Oh my god, this game looks amazing. I can't wait to play this." And I'm like, "You can't wait to play what?" Because there's no information on what this is yet. They've only thrown around some keywords. It's social, it's a sandbox, it's an MMO, it's going to be playable by anyone because it's cloud-based, and they've teased clan-based PvP, player-driven economies, player crafting, all these other things, which sounds interesting, but it still doesn't tell us anything about the game at all. We don't know anything about the actual gameplay experience. Is it consensual PvP? Is it forced PvP? Is it full loot PvP? Is it PvE plus PvP? Is it PvE with PvP servers? What is the gameplay loop? We don't know any of that yet. Is it quest hubs? Is it going to be fully voiced? Is it going to be, you know, like New World, or is it going to be more like Lord of the Rings Online, or more like Star Wars: The Republic? Like, we just don't know these things. So for the moment, I would say that it looks intriguing. They have a beautiful website. They have a beautiful gameplay trailer. They have everything looks beautiful. They've raised 30 million euro in funding. They are have a pretty big team from what it looks like across multiple three different studios. So they are not this is not a slouch of a team. They actually are people who have done this before, and they appear very capable of making this happen. But we're still way too early. We're 3 years in now, about 3 years into the development of all of this. Some of the initial was just you know, getting the company founded and everything else. So I'd say they're really realistically more about like 2 years into the actual creation of this so far. There's just not enough there for me to be able to make a judgment call as to whether or not this is something I would even be interested in the long run. But I can say that I look at the company and I say I see good things. I think that whatever they're working on is going to be something that will be successful in some way, shape, or form, because you don't raise 30 million in funding and based off of nothing. They've got the right talent. They've obviously made good pitches, and they're building something that investors are interested in. So it remains to be seen. A lot more information, though, needed before I, as a gamer, can get excited about this. But I can, from a business perspective, be interested in this game, Pax Dei from Mainframe. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon if you haven't already done so to get more like this as I continue to bring you the news and reviews and all the other things I do here on YouTube with game streams, RPGs, CRPGs, MMORPGs, TV shows, books, movies, all the other stuff I do here, Old Cultural, Tabletop, blah, 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 blah. Super chats, stickers, and super thanks. Pick your amount or use one of the pre-programmed. Don't forget to join as a member here on YouTube. 3 different tiers. There's a Patreon page. There's a Discord. Links are down below. See you in the next episode, everybody. Peace.